Hey there, welcome to English Beyond Words. I'm Mark, and today's episode is really important, especially if you've ever felt nervous about speaking English, especially if you understand English perfectly well, but freeze when it's time to talk, especially if you think your accent is holding you back. If that's you, I want you to stay with me, because by the end of this episode, you're going to see things differently. You're going to realize something powerful, something that could change your entire approach to learning English. Here's the truth. Your accent is not your problem. Let me say that one more time. Your accent is not your problem. I know that might sound surprising, maybe even hard to believe, because for years you've been told that good English means sounding like a native speaker. You've been comparing yourself to people in movies, on TV, in podcasts, and every time you speak, you hear your own voice and think, that doesn't sound right. So you hesitate. You avoid conversations. You stay quiet, even when you know exactly what you want to say. And the frustrating part? You understand English. You can read it, you can listen to it, but when it's your turn to speak, fear takes over. That fear has nothing to do with your intelligence. It has nothing to do with your ability. It has everything to do with a belief, a false belief. The belief that your accent makes you sound less intelligent, less professional, less worthy of being heard. And I'm here today to tell you that belief is completely wrong. English is spoken by billions of people around the world, and most of those people are not native speakers. They have accents, Indian accents, Chinese accents, Spanish accents, French accents, Arabic accents, and they communicate just fine. They do business, they teach, they travel, they connect. Your accent is not a barrier, it's a signature. It's proof that you had the courage to learn a second language. So, today we're going to break down why accent doesn't matter as much as you think. And more importantly, we're going to talk about what really does matter. Let's start by addressing the elephant in the room. Where does this fear of accents come from? Why do so many learners believe their accent is a problem? The answer is simple. From the very beginning, we're taught to mimic native speakers. We're shown British English or American English as the correct way. We're told that pronunciation has to be perfect. We watch movies where everyone sounds polished and flawless, and then we listen to ourselves and feel inadequate. This creates a dangerous mindset, a mindset that says perfection is the goal, a mindset that says if you don't sound like a native speaker, you're doing it wrong. But here's what nobody tells you. Most English conversations in the world don't happen between native speakers. They happen between people from different countries. A business person from Brazil talking to a partner in Japan, a student from Egypt studying in Germany, a traveler from Korea asking for directions in Thailand. All of these people have accents, and all of them communicate successfully. Because the purpose of language isn't to sound perfect, it's to be understood. Now, let's talk about what happens when you believe your accent is a problem. Your body reacts to that belief. You start speaking quietly, hoping people won't notice. You rush through sentences, trying to get them over with quickly. You stop mid-thought because you second-guess yourself. Sometimes you don't speak at all, even when you have something valuable to say. And here's the painful part. This has nothing to do with your English skills. It's purely psychological. It's fear. Fear of judgment. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of not being good enough. But let me tell you something. An accent is not a flaw. An accent is evidence. Evidence that you learned a language that wasn't given to you at birth. Evidence that you challenged yourself. Evidence that you stepped outside your comfort zone. Native speakers didn't choose to speak English. They were born into it. You chose it. You worked for it. And that deserves respect, not shame. Now, here's the trap that many learners fall into. They think, I'll start speaking confidently once my accent is perfect. But that's backwards. Confidence doesn't come after perfection. Confidence comes from practice, and practice requires speaking, even with an accent. So the cycle looks like this. You avoid speaking because you're embarrassed about your accent. Because you avoid speaking, you don't practice. Because you don't practice, your skills don't improve. And because your skills don't improve, you feel even more insecure. It's a vicious cycle, and the only way to break it is to change your focus. Stop focusing on sounding perfect. Start focusing on being clear. Clarity is what matters, not accent, not native-like pronunciation. Clarity. Can people understand what you're saying? Are you getting your message across? That's the real measure of success. And here's the good news. You don't need a perfect accent to be clear. You need a few simple things. First, speak at a steady pace. Don't rush. When you rush, words blur together and become harder to understand. Slow down. Give yourself time to think. Give your listener time to process. Second, pause when you need to. Pausing is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of thoughtfulness. It gives you space to organize your thoughts, and it makes your speech easier to follow. Third, stress the important words. In every sentence, some words carry more meaning than others. Emphasize those words. This helps your listener focus on what matters. Fourth, keep your sentences simple. You don't need to show off complex grammar to sound intelligent. Simple, clear sentences are far more effective than long, confusing ones. And fifth, believe in your message. When you care about what you're saying, people listen. They don't care about your accent. They care about your ideas. Now, let me share something personal. I've spoken to people from all over the world: India, China, Brazil, Nigeria, Poland, Japan. Every single one of them had an accent, and every single one of them communicated beautifully because they focused on clarity, not perfection. They spoke with confidence, not apology, and people listened. Your accent doesn't need to disappear. It just needs to be paired with clarity and confidence. Here's another truth. Most people are not judging your accent as harshly as you think. In fact, most people aren't judging it at all. They're focused on understanding your message. And if you speak clearly and confidently, they won't even think twice about how you sound. The only person obsessing over your accent is you. So here's my challenge to you. Stop waiting for your accent to be perfect before you start speaking. Start speaking now, with your accent, exactly as you are. Because every time you speak, you get better. Every conversation builds your confidence. Every sentence trains your brain to think in English faster. Fluency doesn't come from hiding until you're ready. Fluency comes from showing up, speaking, making mistakes, learning, and trying again. Your accent is part of who you are. It's part of your story. It's part of your identity. Don't try to erase it. Embrace it. Use it. Own it. And watch how quickly your confidence grows. Remember this. Communication is not about sounding like someone else. It's about being yourself, clearly and confidently. Your voice matters. Your ideas matter. Your accent, it's just part of the package. And it's perfectly fine. All right, my friend, let's bring this home. Today, we talked about something that holds so many learners back: the fear of their accent, the belief that they need to sound perfect before they can speak confidently. But now, you know the truth. Your accent is not the problem. The problem is the fear and self-judgment that comes with it. English is a global language. It's spoken by billions of people, most of whom are not native speakers. Every accent is valid. Every voice deserves to be heard, including yours. So here's what I want you to take away from this episode. Stop waiting for perfection. Start practicing with confidence. Speak slowly, clearly, and calmly. Focus on your message, not your pronunciation. Pause when you need to. Use simple sentences. And most importantly, believe in yourself. Your accent is proof that you're brave enough to learn a second language. That's something to be proud of, not ashamed of. The more you speak, the more comfortable you'll become. The more comfortable you become, the more confident you'll sound. And confidence is what people notice, not your accent. So I want to challenge you right now. This week, speak English at least once a day, out loud. It doesn't matter if it's just talking to yourself, recording a voice message, or having a conversation with a friend. Just speak. Don't apologize for your accent. Don't hide your voice. Use it. Because every time you speak, you're one step closer to fluency. If this episode helped you, please leave a comment below and let me know. Tell me where you're from and what accent you have. Let's celebrate the diversity of English together. And if you found this valuable, hit that like button and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to English Beyond Words for more honest, practical lessons that help you grow. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for trusting me with your time. And thank you for believing in your English journey. You are capable, you are worthy, and your voice matters. I'm Mark from English Beyond Words. Keep speaking, keep learning, keep believing. Your accent is beautiful, your confidence is growing, and your English is getting better every single day. See you in the next episode.